Angelica was conceived even though I didn't want it. So he like raped me. I even have paperwork on that because I have a restraining order against him. So yeah, so I have paperwork on that, and yeah, like he raped me. Like I love Angelica, that's my baby, that's my love. I wasn't ready to have her, and that was his way of locking me down, is like getting me pregnant again. Like that's how fucked up this person was. So it was pretty intense. So you know, after, I'll go more into the abusive stuff and all that, whatever, if you guys are interested in that. It's kind of really touchy, but like I said, I'm an open book if you guys want me to go into that. So speeding along, I give birth to Angelica. 3 months later, I turn 16, I get my first job, and I start saving my checks. And he's like, oh, well, you need to pay the rent, you need to pay this. I still gave him that, and he's like, well, how come there's not more of the check, whatever? And I was straight up telling him, like, they took out so many taxes. I was straight up lying because I was so scared that like I was never gonna be able to leave. And he was like, okay, like he believed it, whatever. So he was at home with the kids, and I would be like busting my ass. And then like I met Rudy at my job, and it was just like love at first sight. Like it seriously was. Like I seen him, like when I was in training, I was walking, I seen him sitting down, and he was just smiling, talking. I was just like, damn, that guy's hot. I was never out of the house, so it was like, oh my god, like you know what I mean? Because like I was always in that fucking house with his mom and like just doing shit, and it was just like I never got to go out. So me getting my first job, it was seriously like the best feeling ever. So when I seen him, we started talking, and he just started talking, and he was just like, I don't know, he was just like so interesting to talk to. And we never did anything at all. He was married at the time, and you know, of course I was with that piecer. So we would talk and stuff. It was nothing like, oh my god, let's go get it on. It was just like listening to each other and having someone to talk to, and it was just crazy. I remember one time Rudy took my iPod, and I was like, you know, like, what are you doing with it? And he like, you know, recorded a little funny message. I was so scared. I was like, oh my god, delete it. He's like, I don't know how to delete it. I'm like, delete it now. It was like something goofy, like, oh hi, and I was like, delete it. And he could tell I was so scared. I was like, delete it, delete it. I went home that day, I got my ass beat. Like, oh, my lip was busted. I went to work the next day, and Rudy looked at me, and he was just like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I told you, like, you know, like he's gonna get mad. And he was just like, man, that's no man. Like, a man doesn't put his hands on a woman. And he was like, you know, like showing me the side where it was like he was being protective, and I was like, man, that's a man. Like the one I'm with, like, what a coward, right? So I kept saving more checks. I started getting a backbone more at home, I think, because I felt more confident, you know. And like he would still beat my ass, but I would freaking like move or grab his hand or push him away from me, like, leave me the fuck alone, like I can leave right now. And I would start doing that, and he was just like, oh whoa, like who's this person? And he started to change, and like he didn't hit me as much, but oh, believe me, he still hit me. And yeah, I started getting a backbone. He started trying to put his hands on me, and I was like hitting back finally. Like I remember one time I was talking, and his mom said something, and I was like, what? And I said what a certain way, and he was like, pass. And like my face just went back. I remember thinking like, holy shit, that hurt. And like I just pushed his head forward, like, don't hit me. Like I was like so mad, and he was just like, what the fuck? It was crazy to him, like, oh, she did not just hit me. And he was just like more like, what the fuck? And his mom had the balls enough to say, when did you grow balls? I was just like, are you serious? And I just went to my room, and yeah, I finally got out of the mess, finally left him. Rudy finally left his wife because he was in an abusive relationship. Like, she was crazy. Like, the stuff he would tell me, I was just like, oh my god, like, that's what I'm going through. Like, maybe God just put us together, and like we're soulmates. Like, I swear that's how it feels, like he's my soulmate. So yeah, like I left, and I moved in with Rudy's sister before me and Rudy, like, you know, went any further. Like after he left his wife. So he left his wife, and I was looking for an apartment, and he was like, oh, my sister's renting, you know, the basement. I was like, what? And I was like, I'll get it. So I moved in. He's no longer with wifey, so it was kind of like, oh, like it was just like all the pieces were falling together. It was amazing. Okay, hi guys. So the camera died, so I had to, you know, take the SD card out. Then life happened, and you know, babies needed my attention and all that. So sorry, I look kind of like brr. Like I'm like in the process of like finishing up my face, and I just feel really, let's see, I feel really weird right now. I don't know what the hell it is. Is it my nerves or what? I have no clue. Like, I don't even know how to do this. Okay, whatever. Let's just go with it. Okay, so we left off where I moved in with Rudy's sister. And like I was saying, all the chips were starting to like fall in place. Like everything was starting to get better. Everything was just, it was just working out. So he was no longer with his wife at the time, Rudy. Me and him didn't go any further until like they were seriously like separated, because I wasn't even about that. Like he would tell me stories like of her being, you know, having her problems and stuff. Like he would tell me like, oh, you know, she's crazy and she's this, and you know, me, I'm just like, okay, whatever, like you're just probably just saying this because you want to get in my pants or something, whatever. But everything that he said was legit. Like he told me that she got a tattoo of her boyfriend, because she had a boyfriend I guess at the time while they were together. I guess like she cheated, whatever, and he was like, you know, I don't know what she thought, like I wasn't gonna see the tattoo or what, and she had a tattoo of like the guy she was dating. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? Like, that's really ballsy. And come to find out, he was not lying at all. Like, I had a friend who was friends with her too. And she was like, yeah, like, her and Rudy haven't been together for, like, the longest. Like, he's not lying to you. Like, she got so-and-so's name tattooed on her. And I was like, what the hell? So, you know, being a girl, you start going to stalk mode. So I looked her up. And she was, like, in a relationship with another dude. So everything that Rudy was saying was really like honest and truthful. So I was like, I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to a man being 100% honest with me. So his story checked out, you know, wifey being crazy and everything like that, and her cheating and, you know, getting the tattoo and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. Still didn't go any further until like the divorce was in motion. So yeah, so that all that's Rudy's own little drama in life, because he went through some crap with her. So it was just crazy. It was like God put us two broken people together, and we were just made for each other, because it was just so crazy. Like we were both in a bad relationship, and then we meet at work and we just like fell in love. It was just so crazy. So it was great, you know, at the beginning of the relationship. It's still great, but it was so amazing falling in love with Rudy. When I lived with his sister, he would go over, you know, bring me roses. He started getting closer to Andres and Angelica. My ex, he wasn't really in the picture anymore. He was more like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore then. I can't pick up the kids. I can't do this. I can't do that. So the stories kept coming, like of him saying like, oh, I can't do this. I can't get them because of this and that and that. So even when we would like switch kids off to each other, he was still trying to put his hands on me. Like I had a friend at the time who I would always have her there when we would do like the drop off and stuff with the exchange the kids, and he would still grab my hand like, you're just like a freaking whore, and I was just like, get your hands off of me. Like we're no longer together. I'm not your concern. And my friend would have to tell him like, get your fucking hands off of her. Like it was so crazy. So yeah, he was still a little psycho. So fast forwarding and stuff, he was like, I don't want to be in the kid's life. I need to focus on me, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hey, whatever, great. Like, I don't want you in my life. The babies, you don't need, like, they don't need to have you in their life, because messed up as it sounds, like, he wasn't a good dad. So he was, like, short-tempered with the kids and stuff like that. And I was always scared that he was going to hurt them. Like, there's so many stories that I have, like, about how Andres, he would cry a lot when he was little, just because like he was just really fussy and colicky and stuff, and then his biological would get so fed up and like grab him and like put him in the crib, but rough. And I wouldn't care if he put his hands on me. I was like, don't touch my baby, like don't. And like we'd fight and like hit me instead. Like, oh, I hated it. So knowing that he didn't, so now knowing that he didn't want to be in their life, I was just like, yes, like go do you, bye, like leave me alone. So that was great. He disappeared for like 2-3 years, and then in that time Rudy started getting really close to the kids. I remember one day, it was me and Herika, and Rudy was just like watching us. You know how you feel someone looking at you and you just gotta like turn your head like, what you looking at? He was just looking at us, and he was just like, you know, would it be weird if I, you know, want to be their dad? And I was like, no, it wouldn't be weird, but I don't want you to feel like I'm pushing that on you. And he's like, no, like, you know, would it be weird? And I was like, no, it wouldn't. And like, it slowly started happening. The kids calling him dad, and they were still little, so, you know, like, he's what they grew up with, you know, so that's their dad. Like, if you even talk to my kids till this day, they still refer to Rudy as their dad. And if you bring up my ex, they're like, oh, that's the guy. Like, no bullshit, they call him the guy. So yeah, so the kids grew up calling Rudy dad. Me and Rudy had Eli and Gio. Everything was just finally perfect. Like, I went through shit, went through hell and back, and I finally met my Prince Charming. Like, it was just like everything fell together, and it was just so amazing. I love it. But there's still drama here and there. Like, I'm not gonna even lie, like, there's still drama, and it's just like, life isn't perfect, which is fine. You just gotta like laugh about it and just move forward. Like, I'm gonna keep doing me, boo. Their biological eventually came back into their life, unfortunately, and he sees them here and there when he has time, but the kids have me and Rudy, and that's all that matters. We're gonna always be in their life, and it's a stable environment, so there's no questioning like, oh, is mom gonna be there, is dad gonna be there? Like, yeah, we're here, babies, so what you need. So yeah, so it was a happily ever after for me. Well, yeah, well, for now. So I'm really happy that things worked out the way they did. I finally took action after years later with my stepdad. I finally, you know, was old enough, and I was like, I want to do this for myself, since I didn't have anybody to step in and help me press charges or do anything like that, because again, like I said, like, my mom wasn't in the right state of mind to help me out with that. So when I got older, I finally did press charges on him about that. And then with the ex, when I got older and when I finally, you know, felt like it was time and I was ready emotionally, and pressed charges on him too, got the restraining order and other stuff that's in process. So I finally got courage and strength, and I was just like, you know what, I can do this. And I don't think it was fair that they fucked up my life in a lot of ways, and they just thought like, oh, she's just gonna move on with her life, and so what? Like, no, boo, there's consequences, all right? Like, I'm a human, I matter, like, you ain't shit. So yeah, so yeah, I don't even know how to end this, because I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just happy. I'm so happy. Like, after I uploaded drama, I'm just everywhere. Sorry guys. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. After I uploaded this part 1, there was so many of you who reached out to me and seriously touched me. I was just like, oh, like, my heart was touched. My heart was so warmed. I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, so many of you gave me amazing feedback, and some of you opened up to me, and that takes a lot to open up to a complete stranger. Me, like, you guys don't know me, but you guys opened up to me. Like, it was just amazing to get that type of response, because I'm just like, you know what, I don't see them as strangers, I see them as friends, so maybe that's how they see me, you know what I mean? So thank you for all of you who opened up to me, all of you who commented, all of you who gave me such amazing feedback and love and support. It was just amazing. I was seriously crying when I was reading the comments, when I was talking to you guys about your guys' own stories. I was seriously bawling the most when a lot of you could relate to me, because a lot of you have went through the same thing as me. I was just, at the same time, I was like, oh my god, yay, like, someone, you know, can relate to me. But then I was just like, that's really sad that a lot of us have went through the same shit, and like, it seriously it makes me so emotional, because it's just like it's so sad, and like it just seriously like makes me just want to hug all of you guys, and it just makes me just want to like reach out, hug all of you guys, and tell you guys it's gonna be okay, because it is. Like, I promise you. Like, I know for some of you who are still going through, you know, a hard time, either it be your boyfriend, you know, family, friends, cousins who are hurting you, abusing you, it's okay to scream, to run away and go and find someone who can help you. It's okay. A lot of you were messaging me saying like, I don't have the strength enough to do it. Yes, you do. I promise you, you do. Like, you do. Like, I promise, I promise, I promise. Don't ever feel like there's not a way out. Like, that's how I felt. I had no one to tell me that there's a way out. Like, oh, you can go to the shelter, you can do this, you can do that. No one ever told me that. And if they did, they would tell me all the negative things, like, oh, you're gonna be alone, like, oh, well, at least this person loves you. It's just like, that's not love. Like, don't let those people feed you stuff like that. Don't listen to the people who say, like, if you tell someone, oh, he hit me, don't let that person say, oh, what did you do? Boo, you did nothing. No one's supposed to lay their hand on you at all. It doesn't matter what you do. Do never let anyone raise a hand to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hope you guys understand what I mean when I say that. Like, I hope whoever, like, who's watching this and they're going through a hard time, it's gonna be okay. I promise. Like, just pray and find a way to get out. If you feel like, you know, you're in a hard situation, you feel like you can never get out, like how I found a way, you know, getting the job, saving money, you know, sneaking some away, and just finding a way out. You can do the same thing. Even if it means like leaving the person, do it. Like, I promise you will feel so much better knowing that, you know, you're not going to be hit, you're not going to be sad. It doesn't even have to be physical. It can be emotional. I swear, like, people have the nastiest tongues and they say the meanest shit, and that can make you feel this small. As someone, if you're with someone, if you're living with someone, or even if you're dating someone, leave them. You don't need that. You don't need to hear, oh, you're this, you're that, you're that. No, you don't. You don't need to hear any of that. You're beautiful. Don't pick up the phone when they call. Ignore them, block them. They're gone. Do you know how many people are out in this beautiful world that can be treating you so much better? Like, you can do it. I promise you can. You can do it. And if you need encouragement, I'm here. Message me, Snapchat me, Instagram me. I promise I'll get back to you. It might take a couple of days because I do get busy, but I promise if I see it, I'll sit down and I'll write you and we will talk. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're the one who's hitting, boo, you do not hit. You do not hit. Like, there were so many times where I did hit my ex back, and I was just like, me hitting him back, I knew he was going to hit me back. So I'm saying this. If you hit somebody, expect to get hit back. That's just how it is. Expect to get hit back. Because that's how it is. Do not hit. I don't care how angry you get. Walk away. Because if you're hitting your girlfriend, your boyfriend, one of these days they are going to hit back. And it's just going to be a big explosion. Like, it really is. Just walk away. Just walk away and go take a nap. Go take a bath. Go talk to a friend. If you smoke cigarettes, go smoke a cigarette. If you vape, go vape. Do something else. But do never lay your hand on somebody. Once you lay your hand on somebody, you start shrinking as a person. You just feel different. When I would hit the ex back, even though I was defending myself, I felt like shit. I was just like, oh, like, it just makes you feel nasty. Like, it really does. And maybe that's just me, but that's how I felt. I felt nasty, like, hitting him. And even if because I would tell my friends, like, yeah, I hit him back. They're like, oh, you go, girl. And I'd be like, I feel bad. Like, I don't know how he can just hit me all the time and not feel this at all. And they just got quiet because they're just like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? I hope you guys understand. I'm like rambling on about that. So, for this series to continue, I need you guys to let me know what more you would like to hear about. Regardless of what it is, it could be about, you know, my mom, the whole situation between me and my stepdad, my abusive relationship, growing up with my brothers, bullying. Oh, about that, I need to touch on that real quick. About bullying. Alright, I forgot to mention this in the first clip. I was a bully too. I was bullied and then I became a bully. But after I did my bullying, you can ask anybody who I was mean to. I was mean to about 3 girls. I have apologized. I have hugged them. I have told them, like, I am sorry for me doing that. Like, for whatever it was, calling you this name, calling you that name, you know, laughing when this happened or whatever. Like, I reached out to them and I apologized. Even when it happened or after it happened, like, I was just like, I'm sorry. Like, it was just so bad. Because a lot of you were messaging me or like, you know, you mentioned about you being a little, you know, wannabe gangster. Did you ever, you know, hurt anybody or did you ever do any bad things? And it was like, someone was walking and I slapped their books, like, I was a little bitch. And, you know, slapped their books and stuff. And I knew it was wrong because that person stayed in my head. And then when I got older and after I had Andrew, I wrote them. I like, you know, found them and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know why I did that. Like, I just seriously was just such an angry little shit that I just wanted to take it out on other people. Like, I was a little bitch. Like, I'm not gonna even try to sugarcoat it or nothing. Like, I really was. When people wanted to fight me, I wasn't like, why do you want to fight me? I was like, all right, let's go. Like, I was just so angry. Like, I seriously was. And when I would fight, it wasn't like, oh, like, we're just slapping each other. Like, it was just like fist, 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 because I was just so angry. I just wanted to let all this anger out, and it was just so crazy. And I never went up to somebody and was just like, poop, like, oh, aha. It was just like being mean, like, you know, dropping books and like being a little shit and stuff, and, you know, like pushing, and like, it was never like brutal, you know. But it still wasn't right. And I have apologized to those people, you know, who I were mean to. It was 3 people. Like, I still remember them. It was 3 people, and I apologized to all 3 of them. I even have a good contact with one of them, and she just really understood, you know, like, why I was the way I was. Thank God she understood. And she was just like, you know, it's okay. Like, you have matured so much now. Like, I understand. And it takes a really mature person to be like, you know what, you did this to me and it's okay, but I understand, I want to be your friend. Like, it takes a lot. So, you know, I didn't want to mention any names because it's not my place, but I wanted to say thank you, you know, for the ones who have forgave me for being a little shit. And yeah, you know, if you're one of those who are feeling angry and just want to fight all the damn time, like, stop. Because, like, it's gonna get old and you're gonna get in trouble. I spent time in detention, and like, I spent time in detention and some like other like girl group homes because I just seriously just wanted to fight. And it was just like, why are you looking at me like that? All right, let's take it over there, and boom, boom, boom. Like, it was just so bad. I was just like, oh my God. And you know what was worse? My mom was cheering me on most of them. So it was just like, ghetto. Like, it was just so bad. So bad. I'm like everywhere in this video, but like, I hope most of you can, like, you know, tag on with me, because some of you were commenting like, oh, this was everywhere, I didn't understand. And I was just like, I know, like, I don't know how to put it all out there. So that's why, to continue the series, I want you guys to let me know what video I should do next, because every Friday I'll be uploading, you know, a new series, and it's going to be on a certain topic, like, you know, abusive relationships, certain things, or if you guys just want me to tell stories of like about a certain thing, or memories that I have, memories that I remember, and certain things like that, like, oh, when did the relationship go bad, how horrible was his mom. I told a few of you guys, because some of you guys messaged me and we talked for like hours about, like, you know, how horrible his mom was, because she was just like, she was worse than Mommy Dearest. Like, I swear, she was just pure evil. Like, I can't. Yesterday when I was driving, I saw the ex's sister, and we made eye contact in the mirror. Woo! If I had laser beams, just telling you there, if I had laser beams. She has a nerve to like look at me like if I was the one. Like, I'm waiting for my apology from that family, because I'm just like, you guys were fucking assholes. Like, I swear, like, I cannot believe, I swear, I really can't believe like how long I stayed. And it was just like, but when you're young and you feel like, you know, you are in love and you're so desperate for love, I swear, like, you will do anything. And it's not like if I had like someone to tell me like, you don't need that, do this, do that. I had no role models, so it was so hard. So now I'm making sure that I'm like on my kids and like really like, you know, showing them love, and this is okay, that's not okay, tell me this, and you know that, and you know what I mean. So like it's like I learned. So everything that I went through, I've learned a great lesson. So with Angelica, things are going to be so different. I've never like done drugs or anything because I'm so scared that like my mom scared me, because like the way how she acted on them and how she lost everything, I'm like, hell no, like I am not gonna mess with any of that, because it was just like so scary, because she's still dealing with it till this day. And it's just like it's just wow. There's so many good friends that I've known since junior high, and they're still hooked on that. And I'm just like, it was so crazy, like the paths that everyone took. Like I took this path and it led me to this, and this person took that path and it led them to that. And it's just so crazy, because like it's just crazy how things happen. So I'm so sorry if this was everywhere. So I need you guys to let me know what you guys would like to see next. You know, like I said, abusive relationships, fighting, you know, how do you like stop being so angry? Or if you guys want to know some of my little chola stories, it's humorous now, but I swear I really thought I was thugging back then. Like, it was so crazy. So yeah, I hope this really helps some of you who are in a tough spot. I really, really do. Share this video, or, you know, send it to a friend if you feel like they're in a tough spot and they just need to hear someone. And, you know, let them know that they're not alone, because you are not alone, boo. I promise. You are not alone. I'm here, and there's so many other people out there that are willing to help. You just have to ask. So, yeah. So, I will be doing another video, another series. Is it series or another video? No, another video on Friday. So leave me comments down below, and whatever comment gets most likes, I'll be doing a video on that. I hope you guys enjoyed this part 2, and I just want to thank you guys so much for all your love and support. Hold on, baby. For all you guys' love and support. I really appreciate all of you guys. You guys mean so much to me, and I really mean that with all my heart. So I want to thank you again. Send you guys kisses and hugs, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Is that my candy? Wow. There's mommy's stash, and then there's your stash. You can't be dipping into yours and mine. Cause